Fog football is back again, and guess what, guys? It is Scottish Cup semi-final day, and you know what? It was actually a good final for what it was, a final, semi-final. Even though it was 3-0, I think there was still a lot of action in this game, and I feel like for a decent bit of it, you still thought there was a game. I think once it went 3-0, it was all over. Personally, well, I'll say all over. I mean, 2-0 wasn't exactly looking good for Falkirk, but it wasn't a 3-0 where the team that got beat 3-0 was just shite. They had their chances, but they didn't take them. So, without further ado, let's get stuck in. But also, congratulations to Inverness. They've booked themselves a Scottish Cup final. But let's move back to the game. And it's a handball in the 5th minute. It goes to VAR. I think it was the only time VAR was used throughout the game. Obviously they check every goal, but I'm talking about in terms of actually overturning something here. And yeah, it's hand is it's a soft one, but as Chris Boyd said, soft, hard, scrambled, poached, an egg's an egg, I guess. And points to the spot, and big Billy Barry, Big Billy Mckay steps up. What a man this guy is, and grabs his 99th Inverness goal with a really good penalty. And I tell you what, man, he's good. This guy, he seems like he's been around forever, and that to me, he seems like he's still about 27, but in reality he's 34. But you know what? He stood up here on the Hampden Park turf today, and I thought he had an outstanding game. So fair play to him. After this, there was a bit of confusion at the back. Ridgers, the goalie for Inverness, I don't think he had a good game personally. I thought he was all over the place, did not look confident in him. Inverness, I thought more or less every player was good. There was one that got a goal, also called Mckay, but we'll get to him a wee bit later on. And it's just missed here. It hits the post. I mean, it's unlucky, but the shot always looked like it was going wide, so it was almost a bit of a surprise that it hit the post, personally. But then a ball's whipped in, Falkirk defenders underneath it, big Daniel Mckay header into the back of the net, and he makes it 2-0 in the 32nd minute. Then after this, right, they've got a good counter-attack in for Inverness, and he doesn't square it. Now, I don't know who he was squaring it to, whether it was the other Mckay or somebody else, but very greedy. Obviously it didn't matter in the end, but Jesus, this guy was greedy a lot, man. And if this guy passed it, Inverness could have won about 6-0 today. Honestly. So, if anything went wrong, you definitely could have blamed this guy, but that brought us into half-time. And then another great ball in to Billy Mckay at the back post, and he just pokes it past the goalie, and it's 3-0. And at this point, it is a bit dead. Shaw hits the post for Inverness. It was like a cross into the box, but takes a deflection, hits the left post. Then he hits the other post, which is funny. Then there's another bit of a mess at the back from Inverness, and Oliver misses an open net. He tries to square it to his teammate, and that's just no happening. Offence he gets booted out for a corner. After this, I went to walk the dogs, came back, there was 20 seconds ago, and then the final whistle went. And that is the final score here, guys, in the Scottish Cup semi-final. So obviously Falkirk are out. Inverness advance to take on the mighty Old Firm, one of them. Big game tomorrow. I'm praying it's going to be Rangers. But you know what, right? I actually think Inverness can give the Old Firm a game. Now, they'll have to cut out the mistakes that the goalie's making here. A bit the wee defensive errors that they're making. But if I'm actually being serious, we talked about it in the preview, we could see Inverness getting something against the Old Firm. With Falkirk, we just didn't think they'd be able to. And I think that was evident today. Yes, Falkirk could have scored. Falkirk probably could have scored 3 goals today, but Inverness could have scored about 7. So I think 3-0 is about fair. And looking forward to the game tomorrow. But it's Mckay all around. The Highlanders are absolutely loving life. And who can blame them? Who can blame them, man? No one can blame them. Done a great job. Yesterday was 15,000 people in the stadium. Was sounded like it was going to be, but then before kickoff, they're there's 11,000. I don't know. It seemed definitely more. It seemed definitely more like 15 than 11. right? Maybe it was like 11 Falkirk and then 4 Inverness. So maybe that makes a bit more sense. But yeah, you know what? And people complaining that these teams get hammed in. I'm not complaining because you know what? These wee teams deserve it. It's a great day for them. And yeah, it would be better, man, if Hampden, if it had 52,000 people in it. But at the end of the day, like for Inverness, it doesn't exactly help them that it's a 12:15 kickoff on a Saturday. So you can kind of see why, you know, there's not a lot of people there. And also it's a semi, it's not a final, and you know, we live in a living crisis at the minute anyway though. You know what, I'm all for it. It was great seeing two teams, wee teams in the lower leagues battle it out for a spot, and I liked the game, I played the game, I enjoyed the game. 3-0.